What's up everybody, Coach Mills here, coming at you with a brand new Valorant video. And in this video, we're going to be breaking down the best aimers in all of Valorant. Top 10 list, talking about every single pro that you can go and watch and just see phenomenal aim. But if you want to get phenomenal aim just like the pros, you need in-depth tips, tricks, VOD reviews, and mechanical breakdowns that are going to help you improve your aim at a dramatic pace. If you really want to improve and become cracked hitting those consistent one-taps, do yourself a favor and go check out the GameLeap website right now down below. Now, before we jump into this top 10 best aimers list, keep in mind that I know for a fact I've missed out on some people. I only could put 10 in here, and there were people that I couldn't include that I wanted to include, and I'm sure this ordering might trigger some of you, but as far as my criteria, I don't only take someone's aim at their peak. I put them on this list for different reasons, whether it's aim consistency, consistent aim value, or some players have incredibly high peaks that definitely deserve a certain amount of recognition. So we're going to break it all down. Starting with number 10, it's Android on NRG. Android is fucking nuts. He's a mechanical god. He's really, really good, and I wanted to put him higher up on this list. And if it wasn't for the fact that this list was so goddamn stacked, he would be. He is nuts. He hits crispy and consistent shots, and he's a playmaker for his team. Now, number 9 on this list is someone that might suffer a little bit in the consistency aspect, but when he is peaking probably higher than almost every single person on this list, and it's 100 Thieves Asuna. Now, he has an aim style that I almost don't even suggest you copy. When we think of zoomer aim, he's the one that comes to the top of the list because it is so ridiculous, some of the shots that he pulls off and the value that he gets, the quick twitch fiber reflexes, it's insane. And he's one of the most entertaining players to watch because you don't know when he's gonna get this random two-piece out of nowhere, and it's freaking wild. Also, it seems like he doesn't have the inaccuracy on freaking zip lines or jumping or whatever. He just doesn't follow the rules of Valorant, and his mechanical peaks are absolutely crazy. Now, moving on to number 8 on our list, we actually have the Subroza himself from TSM. Now, Subroza is a longtime Counter-Strike player, and his aim is just mad crispy. He is so consistent in his aim, and I think the thing that puts him above even that is his confidence and execution. So there are some players that are confident in their mechanical skill, but having the confidence to pull off something that no one else will and relying on your mechanical skill to not fail you and then succeeding is something that Subroza does that very few players can do. I think mechanically he's one of the best players on those pinpoint weapons, such as the Sheriff. Subroza is just freaking nuts. He's nasty, and yeah, another player that definitely deserves to be on this list. Now, number 7 is a player that I've been following a long time, but not in Valorant, in Overwatch, and it's Spider, aka Saya player on The Guard. Now, The Guard is a new team that has burst into the scene and has just been dominating. They're so freaking good, and they have a stacked roster, but Spider is absolutely nuts. He was a really cracked aimer before, one of the best aimers in Overwatch, period, and his aim is still crispy as hell. It's so consistent. It's almost like he's a goddamn machine at times. I'm not even entirely sure if this guy is actually a real human because he's so freaking consistent and his aim is god tier. I mean, he's always been a joy to watch in Overwatch. He's a joy to watch in Valorant, and he's definitely one of the best mechanical players in the game, period. Now, moving on to number 6. I already know I'm going to get some heat from this from every direction, but it's TenZ from Sentinels. And some of you are going to be like, TenZ, oh, okay, whatever. And some of you are going to be like, TenZ is only number 6. But here's the thing. TenZ has peaks that are just higher than almost anyone. In fact, I would say TenZ's absolute peak is probably the highest. That being said, he doesn't get out that peak all the time. He's not always playing to that peak level. And especially when we talk about our first place spot, that person just is always peaking, and you'll get to that in a second. But specifically, TenZ is incredibly mechanically good. That's what he's known for. You really don't know what to expect from TenZ sometimes when you're watching him in pro play, because he's gonna pull off something that no one else would pull off. He's gonna get a kill combo that no one else would do, and it's so crisp, it's so clean. And yeah, TenZ, even though that the team has been struggling a little bit and TenZ hasn't been doing as well as he's done in the past, he's still doing really well, and I have no doubt that he's gonna do something fucking insane the next time we watch him. So yeah, he definitely deserves this list. And I really wanted to put him in the top 5, but once we read through these top 5 players, you'll understand why I didn't. Now, in our top 5 list, the first player, our number 5th spot, is probably the best jet in the world, at least top 3 best jets in the world, and he's so mechanically cracked at opping, he's so consistent, and it's CNED on Ascend. Now, some of you might not know about this player as much because he's not NA. However, if you take a closer look at his gameplay and his triumphs with his team, you realize just how goddamn good this player is. He's so freaking cracked, but more than having those crazy highs and lows that some of these players have, he's just incredibly consistent and reliable. Mechanical to a fault, being able to play that role perfectly for his team, and he's just the epitome of consistency, and for those reasons, he deserves this 5th place spot. However, he is being eked out by Yay FPS on Optic. And Yay FPS is a player that I would say is consistency personified. El Diablo, as he's called, if you watch any gameplay of Yay, you realize how disciplined he is with crosshair placement, how he's peeking and challenging angles. He challenges and clears every single one of them, and the one taps that he puts out. He uses the Vandal almost like a Guardian 90% of the time, where he's mainly just tapping very, very precisely. He is incredible. And I would say his aim is near perfect. He's like a goddamn robot. I said that with Saya player, but Yay, I believe, takes it to a whole nother level. He is almost like perfectly optimal with aim. When you look at him, when you watch his play, he doesn't do anything wrong with his aim ever. And I do think that there are some players that will pull off more of a spectacle. They'll be able to pull off and dig deep and pull off some sort of aim combo that just seems out of this realm of reality. But as far as just consistently good, solid aim that is just top tier all the time, I think Yay has that, and that's why he's in this category. Now we're moving on to top 3 territory, and in 3rd place is probably the most successful player currently, and he's doing incredibly well in the pro scene. And not only is his aim just crispy, but he's so freaking smart in the way he takes his engagements. We have C9 Leaf, and this man is just incredibly ridiculous. The check his PC meme on this guy is absolutely real. He just pulls off some crazy shit that you're like, all right, this guy has to be hacking. This guy has to be hacking. And he's gotten a ton of cheating allegations and death threats back when he was playing CSGO. And yeah, he's just freaking phenomenal. He's so goddamn good. The way he takes his engagements, the way he hits his shots, I think that he's just absolutely one of the best aimers, period, in Valorant. And if you're a pro player that has to have the duelist head-to-head with freaking Leaf, good goddamn luck. He's going to make you look like a bad player. It's just insane. Now, before we move into the top 2, remember that the streamer links to all these players will be down below. So if you want to watch some cracked mechanical aimers, do yourself a favor and go check them out. Now we're entering top 2 territory, and on number 2, this is a player that it might be a little bit of recency bias, I'm not gonna lie, but this player has just entered the scene. He's a player that wasn't really known that much before, but mechanically, he's pulling stuff off that even the top level players, even the top level aimers, are just losing their minds over. They have no idea how this guy is so freaking good, and he pulls off these crazy spray controls that I've just never seen, and it's Trent FPS on the guard. Another guard player here, and it's one of the reasons why they are doing so damn well, because mechanically, this guy is just nuts. And he's not even a duelist. He's not in the duelist category. When we see him just go freaking crazy on Breach and just dominate on Fracture, and he's just so insane. I love watching this kid. He's young, and he's only gonna get better, and I'm really excited. I would keep a really close eye on this player because, you know, we always see like the first wave of pros come to a game, and they're pretty popular and they're really cool to watch, but it's always the new generation, the people that come in after the fact that are kind of on the heels of that first generation that really push the bounds of a game and just push it to the next level. And I think this is one of the people that you should really keep an eye on. But moving on to the number 1 aimer in all of Valorant, it is just obvious. It's Prod. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Okay. Sorry. All right. Moving on to the real decision, the real best aimer in all of Valorant. I just talked about a new schooled player, a new player, a young player, And when I talked about Trent is only 17. And this player that I'm about to mention is 10 whole years older at 27 years old. But mechanically, no one even comes close, man. And it's freaking Liquid Scream. Scream is just straight up God's gift to gaming. I mean, he's phenomenal. He is definitely in the conversation for the top 5 aimers of all time, not just the top 5 or top 10 aimers in all of Valorant. He is ridiculous, and anyone who's watched him play know what I'm talking about. Not only is he just incredibly consistent in the shots that he's hitting, he just hits shots that no one else can hit and does it consistently every single time. And I'm not talking about no one as in the average pro. I'm talking about no one as in the average top 10 pro can't hit, and he hits it, and he does it again and again and again. Scream is freaking nuts. And even in a sea of players that are so goddamn mechanically talented, Scream is still cream of the goddamn crop. I mean, he's just phenomenal. And if you want to see crispy one-taps, if you want to see cracked mechanics, there's no one else you would go to than Scream at the top of the freaking list. But remember, I can only put 10 people on this list, and I'm sure if I made a list that was like more specifically like top 5 best oppers, there would be different people that would be on it and things like that. But this is the top 10 list I have as of now. But I really want to know, is there anyone that I missed? Is there anyone that you would include on this list, and who would you take off for that person? I really want to know. And would you shift around this list? Who do you think actually deserves the 1 spot? Or do you think that's right, but there's some other parts that are wrong? I really want to hear your opinion and break it all down below. But go to the GameLeap website for in-depth tips, tricks, mechanical courses, guides, and so much more. If you want to become absolutely mechanically cracked, you need the tools to do so. And on the GameLeap website, we have a full-fledged aiming course just for you. So do yourself a favor and go check it out right now down below.